A very good afternoon, Dr. Arpit Totuka, sir. And we would like to thank you for taking time out from your very busy schedule today. And since we are already very late in starting the meeting, I would jump right into the questions. So,
Sure.
um, so my first question to you would be, um, I want to ask you about your incredible career as a professor at the School of Law, Manipal University, as this is the prime reason we are all getting the enthusiasm of being as remarkable as you are. So,
Uh, See, to be very frank, that my career has just started. I've been into this career not beyond say around 6 months, but yeah, the things are starting, and I'm really loving my job. It's great to be here. It's great to be imparting knowledge to the students. Great to be interacting with the young blood. New ideas, new generation. They think differently. Uh, Probably I am in like 40s right now, so it really feels nice to be thinking like they are thinking. So that's the best part of being a professor. That's the best part of being a teacher. The way we exchange our ideas. There are a lot of things that students teach to us. Probably we are more into traditional thoughts, traditional thinking, but they are bringing some new thoughts into it. They are ready to question things, why things are like that, why not bring a change in them. So that's the best part of my, profession that I'm into.
okay, so we always love supporting teachers who listen to our new ideas. Uh,
Definitely.
the next question I would like to ask is, why did you choose to be a professor of law and saw your career in it as the same?
See, after passing my school, I wanted to pursue my education further, but due to some family circumstances, I had to get into business. So I was into business all these years, and side by side, I was pursuing my law qualifications also. Since very beginning, I was very interested in law because law really opens your mind.
Mhm.
It gives you that self confidence that you can stand anywhere in the society, question anyone. So that was the basic reason I chose law, and there were various others inspiring factors. Like one of us is our director, ma'am, Vijayalakshmi ma'am. He has been one of the great inspiring factors for me to pursue and come here where I am right now. It was under her that I started my masters in law, and then she, encouraged me to pursue PhD, and here I am to have completed my PhD and into lectureship. That also it was her perseverance and it was her motivation that got me here. So basically, I believe that law is a very dynamic field. Each and every person in the country or in the world should have a knowledge of law, because unless until you don't have knowledge of law, you can't stand for your rights and your duties. So that's a basic thing, and the more deep you go into the law, the more it attracts you.
Yes, that's very true. And yes, Vijay Lakshmi ma'am inspires all of us to do better in life. So yeah, we have to say that for her. Um, but I want to ask you, like you said, that you pursued law besides the business studies that you were already doing. So how did you manage all of it?
See, probably in our Indian system, there are few things which are maybe nice due to the cultural values that we have. The teachers and the lecturers that I had in my times were very cooperative, so they used to cooperate with me, and giving me extra attention when it was required. So both the things were going side by side. In business also, I was doing great. Although there was some time crunch with me because I had to manage both the things together.
Mhm.
But somehow, with the grace of God, I was able to do that. Probably I can say that looking in the past, now it seems like how I managed. But yeah, with the God's grace, I was able to do that.
So you're an inspiration to all of us who struggle with time management. Very sorry. The next question would be, according to you, what would be a better option among various potential fates that a law graduate has?
Uh, what it's There's a general connotation, that people think that once you get into law, either you can become a lawyer,
Mm.
okay, or you maybe uh, like attempt competitive exams and go for judiciary. But yeah, to enlighten you to a fact that law is one of the top 10 professions in India. Now that means it's not based only on two fields like advocacy or judge, like competitive exam, judiciary. So law has various vast fields. Companies are hiring legal professionals for their each and every organization or big corporate. They are in need of legal professionals because in day to day dealing they need legal professionals to guide them with the legal provisions. Every time they do can't go to a lawyer and give him a hefty fees.
Yeah.
So there are various fields. There are again, paralegal services which are going on. You can get attached with any NGO, or there are various and the numerous fields that are open in law. Jobs are very good in law.
Mm.
Presently, you are companies are recruiting people, the law graduates. So there's a general condition that it's only advocacy and judiciary. There is much beyond that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So your words filled me with a lot of motivation, and I really need to ask you this question. So, what is the reason behind your positive attitude and the energy to like pursue all of it? And is there any possible motivation behind it? An ulterior motivation?
Say motivation has to come within from within. Okay, when you see people what I was motivated when I joined, when I was about to join this professorship in Manipal. At that time my age was 40. So probably people used to think, okay, you are joining this profession so late at the age of 40. Where do you think that there is a saturation point that you won't be able to grow beyond? Then there are various personalities in world who have started their occupation at the age of 60, 65. Taking
Yeah.
for example the person from KFC, he started his business at the age of 65 by selling his product door to door. So that was a great inspiration. I thought no, age is not a limit, age is just a number.
Yeah.
Once you get into a field, it all depends how well you do, and it's basically about personal satisfaction. If you are able to gain that personal satisfaction that whatever am I doing, I'm satisfied with that, I'm doing great in that. If you are satisfied, no goal is uh, far from reach.
Yeah, that's right. That's very true, sir. And I am very sure the people who will listen to your words will get motivated to stand up and do something and follow their dreams because, like you said, you can dream anything and you can become anything because that's very inspiring. Um, so my next question to you would be: do you have any hobbies other than reading or writing? Or
Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies. I love cooking. I love sports. I used to be a part of my school basketball team. I presented my district in basketball. I used to play cricket. All sort of sports I used to play. I'm still a big fan. Although when you see me, you it won't be reflecting from my looks that I'm into sports and all. But yeah, I love watching sports. I love cooking. I love listening to music and all those things. I have two wonderful kids. I love playing with them. Every time when I'm at home, I just involve myself with them. So that's the best hobby one can have.
not only a wonderful professor but also a wonderful father, I must say.
Thank you.
Uh, I wanted to ask you um, how significant it is to have a hobby, and can we afford to have a hobby while seeking a professional course such like law?
See, hobby is very important because when you enter into the professional world, there might be certain instances of fatigue. There might be certain instances where you are filled up. You want to break something. So hobbies help you doing that. Hobbies keep you alive in the life. Okay, when you enter into professional world, generally happens that you're coming to your office or your university or wherever you're going, you do your work and get back home. Now that is so monotonous.
Yeah,
So there has to be a just break free moment you need. That is
an
what is
escape.
escape route. That definitely to escape from that boredom, to escape from that monotonous life, hobbies play a very important role. And one should always don't mix hobby with your career. or even I, this is my personal belief, what people say is make your hobby your profession, but
Mm.
then it won't be your hobby. So hobbies are a hobby. These are the things when you do, when you want to break free, when you want to relax, when you want to, yeah, when you're free to do something, you just express yourself in those hobbies. So that's why I feel hobbies are very important, and one should always have as many as hobbies I can. If you can, that you should, give certain amount of time daily to your hobbies. So that not only, gives you a mental peace, physical, reliever, but also enhances your personality, and it reflects in your profession also somehow.
Yeah, that's true. Because the more the talented you are, the more people will like you.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have wide range, you have wide skill set.
Yeah. My next question would be, as a professor, do you think this online mode of teaching we have adopted in pandemic impairs with the quality of teaching?
See, as far as quality of the teaching is concerned, no mode is a barrier, online or offline. What depends is, since we have been, so used to a similar format of teaching, that is classroom format, that where you students and we teachers standing face to face talking to each other. Now this pandemic forced us into this online mode. This is a completely new format, so it takes time for people to adopt and adapt to it. Okay, like we as the teachers sometimes, when we are taking classes, it seems like that we are talking to the laptop, to the machine, because the students are not visible there, they are not interacting. And probably this might be the same feeling with the students too, I believe, because when you are in the class, you are with your, colleagues, you're with your friends, with your batchmates, classmates, and with the faculty, while you are sitting in front of a desktop, or maybe mobile phone, whatever gadgets you are taking the class on. So it feels like you're sitting alone, no interaction, nothing. And probably I feel the discussion is the best form of teaching. The more discussions you have, the more interactive class you have, the better the teaching is, which I feel will, grow by time. It will take time for us to, adapt to this new very system of online teaching. It's a
Yeah,
boon, definitely, because there are many people who can't, afford to go to different places
exactly.
and take the learning there.
Yeah.
It's a boon for them that they can, sitting at home, learn so many things. Even what I experienced during lockdown was like people were going for hell lot of courses. Online courses were boom at currently also, presently also, they are boom. So it presents an opportunity to learn more while sitting, while doing other things. You can collaborate 2 to 3 courses at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's a boon, but it all depends. It will take time for people to adjust to, definitely.
Yeah, that's very true. And it definitely makes you feel as if you're alone and you don't have a lot of people around you. So it makes you feel a little lonely and blue sometimes. But then again, you are at
like
your
like
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 comfort of your home. So yeah,
yeah, definitely. And like you students must be missing your friends, we also miss you. No, we miss those students, those smiles, those questioning eyes, those questions, and those all those interactions. Even the naughty students, the backbenchers, we miss them also, because it's feel like it's like, connecting, mentally and physically connecting. Like that's the best thing. Although in online mode you are just connecting through technology. There's nothing else. I don't feel like presently what we have been taking classes 3 to 4 months. It feels that there is a lack of connection between the student and the teachers. Only few of the students who probably are, more attentive are being connected or connecting to the teachers. But definitely this is a good medium of teaching. Definitely all that is required is for us to adapt to it.
so it does not bar the amount of knowledge which flows from your side to us.
I believe through online mode you can go, gain far more or amount of knowledge, far greater knowledge than what we are doing in physical classrooms. Because although in physical classrooms we can have discussions, we can have one-to-one interaction, but when you are online, on online mode, you can, there's a whole ocean of information available there. It's depend on the student what he fills his glass with. Okay, so you can fill your glass with water also, you can fill your glass with gems also. So it all depends on the person who is taking the mood, how he looks into the scenario.
Mm,
Discussions are still the best form of teaching, I believe.
that's very true, sir. So it will be our honor if you could guide us with what are the basic and indispensable elements to make our paper or a piece of writing more fertile and louder. Like,
Okay, probably there are far more experienced teachers, you know, who are available to guide you regarding it. But yeah, what I would say is read as much as you can. Okay, read the newspapers, whatever news is coming, explore the legal concepts, explore the legal provisions in those news items, whatever you can go through, and that's the best form. Whenever you're reading a news, if you find something, okay, what's the legal provision attached to that? It's very simple. Go on the Google and search for it. So probably that will enhance your knowledge. Probably you will be able to think differently. The provisions of law are already there. You need to think differently. What is that is preventing law to be more effective? How we can change that? That's a basic point that you need to think about. Okay, reading through the questions, giving examinations, and passing the examination should not be the only motive. Obviously, for you being employable, for you being earning, that's a primary requirement. But the more smart you are, the more open-minded you are, the more exploratory you are. Yeah, you need to explore things. The more you explore, the more knowledge you gain.
that's
And
it.
again, like suppose if you can find a group of like-minded people, like if three or four of you are like-minded who want to like a particular topic, discuss as much as you can. Read a article, read a newspaper, read a hear about a story, just discuss it. Various things come out. Discuss it with your parents. Your parents are again great source of knowledge.
Yeah.
So when you discuss things with your parents, like whatever happening in their profession or their business or whatever they are into, so that gives you great deal of knowledge.
Yeah, because they give the best hypothesis. Because getting to know public opinion from your parents is like they are the most reliable source out of
Um,
everyone, my opinion.
Probably they'll give you the best advice and the most frank advice. you know
Yeah.
because when you go into to discuss things with other people, they might hide some information, give some information. They might pretend to be very knowledgeable or give you false information also. So it is up to you what you select and right people to discuss things with.
Right. Um, the last question that I want to ask you today is what was the reason behind choosing law as your profession? And would you like to throw some light on the essentials as to how to achieve success in life?
See, as I told you, law is the most dynamic field, I believe. You know, everything in this world is governed by law.
Yeah.
Right? Every society has its own laws. Every religion has its own laws, customs, traditions. These are all laws. So, law is one thing where you can, you really opens your mind up. And law gives you the confidence to give stand in the society. Take one just a small example. If I say, uh, like if there's a group of people who are discussing upon certain matter and you have a complete knowledge of law and legal provisions, you can give them the best advice. You can be a game changer, you can be a change in the society, you can bring a change in the society. There are various people who are deprived of various facilities, who are deprived of the knowledge of their rights and duties. So you can you can be a change, you can bring a change in the world. So that's what inspires to get into the field of law. But again, to be in the field of law, you have to be very open in your mind. You
Yeah.
can't follow a straight line. You have to think differently. You have to think out of the context. There's a basic difference between professors and advocates, which I want to say. Like when a professor is reading the book, he will read like this section, the language of the section. What advocate reads it between the lines. you know he will read between the lines how he can implement that particular section or that particular provision of law into his favor. And that's the open-mindedness he has.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to be that open-minded when you are going through any provision of law. Try to think of the various possibilities that the provision is wants to express. Just explore things. So
Yeah.
I believe law is one field which is very like it has great potential for students. It has great potential for citizens, and it has great potential for all the people who want to make a change in the society. If you can see the even our politicians, most of the politicians are advocates. So you see, the people who bring the change.
That's true. So you cannot go on a linear path when you're trying to pursue.
Obviously, obviously, like madam, I'm sorry to say, but where there are certain professions where you have to follow a straight path, like
Yeah,
this is this and this is this, nothing else. You can't do it. But that is not the case with law.
yeah.
You
It's
can
all about learning and unlearning things that you.
learning and unlearning things
Yeah,
very good, and how to interpret.
right.
A particular word can be interpreted 3 to 4 ways in law.
Exactly.
That's not the case in other professions.
Yeah.
That's the thing that brought me in the field of law. And I again, while teaching also, I ask my students to explore things, to read things. you know uh, there are like the generation you are in are very open to social media networks. Okay, very open to healthy discussions. What
Hmm.
in our times not we did have the opportunity to have those sort of discussions, because we had very little contact. That was the only contact, was the physical contact. But now you have that social media platform to discuss things, to talk about things, to frame your opinion frankly.
Right.
So that's the thing.
So all of the answers that you gave me today just made me fall for this profession even more. Like I wanted to become a lawyer, sure, but now I just really want to put myself out there and do something great, like for people and bring changes, of course, the way you said it.
So I
Um,
wish all the best to you,
Thank you.
and you'll become a great lawyer. I know, because it seems the interest you have in the field of law will definitely make you more curious to learn more things.
That means a lot to me, sir.
Uh,
Um, those are the questions that I wanted to ask you. And with this, we move towards the end of the session. On behalf of Lexlawgical Club, Manipal, Jaipur, I, Mansha Bhatia, would like to extend a hearty vote of thanks to you, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace us with your presence. Um, so, we would like to acknowledge our gratitude to you for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. We are all inspired by your great words, and I'm positive that this will surely encourage us to do better in our future endeavors. I hope that the words of wisdom that you imparted on us today will turn out to be really insightful and will help us figure out things in life. And that's it. So, thank you so much for attending the session today.
Welcome, and the pleasure was all mine. I really nice to to be being interviewed by a student who is very curious to learn things. Thanks a lot for making me a part of this. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir.